Somehow missed the big news today. The Michigan State Spartans are Big Ten champions, and that big Spartan win, well, it sent mobs of people into the streets of East Lansing. We're talking about riots, fires, a flipped car where authorities were dealing with all night long. Luckily, nobody hurt during all this, but we are told that there are numerous situations the police are looking into and that they made multiple arrests. East Lansing Police, the Ingham County Sheriff's Office, and Michigan State Police were all out in full force trying to keep things under control. Of course, they prep for this sort of thing. They were out until about 4 this morning when things did finally calm down. One gas station employee described the scene as chaos and says he even saw SWAT cars on top of dozens of other emergency vehicles.
Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, I believe 5 fire trucks, about 12 cop cars, looking at maybe 3, 4 SWAT car, riot cars. So, oh yeah, it got pretty big. It got pretty bad out there.
And of course, word of all this, it spread quickly on social media thanks to the help of Facebook, Twitter, you name it, from online, from Twitter to Vine. Images of what was happening in East Lansing got all over the internet. 24 Hour News 8's Mark Thompson has a look at how those riots played out on the web.
Social media is the fastest and most real-time way that news travels these days. So from the time that the very first fire sparked in Lansing, those images were captured and spread for thousands to see. YouTube, Facebook, Snapchats, and tweets. Looking back, you can see the progression. As the game ended around midnight, congrats and elation filled timelines and walls. MSU beat down the Buckeyes, Big Ten champs, Rose Bowl bound. But nearly an hour later, the tweets trickled in as fans fueled fires in East Lansing. Then the flood of stills, video, and incredible sound. Chanting, crowds, riots, police, a play-by-play, blow-by-blow via touchscreen, camera phone, and computer key. Hundreds lined the streets, cars flipped, and the campus burned. MSU's Cedar Village apartments, off campus, but very much online. This all playing out over the course of 7 hours or so overnight. Now, we monitor all social media platforms here in the newsroom. It helps us decide where to send a crew. And once we do get on scene, we participate as well, tweeting out the very latest as it happens to you. In the newsroom, Mark Thompson, 24 Hour News 8.
Certainly the way it works these days. Mark, thank you. This isn't the first time that we've seen riots break out in East Lansing. One of the most memorable was the MSU riot back in the March of 1999. That's after the men's basketball team lost to Duke in the Final Four. Thousands of Spartans hit the streets that night. Of course, they were a little bit angry. Then in April 2005, Spartans were at it again after another Final Four loss, this time to North Carolina. Finally, in April of 2008, more mobs of people flooded the streets during Cedar Fest. In that incident, 52 people were arrested.